Welcome to CARICOMP Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence.
Researchers at deepidv looked at 4 million fake identities. Nearly a quarter of them used a real government ID number, a legitimate number pulled from a real record, paired with completely invented personal details. So the document checks out, the number checks out, and the person doesn't exist. If you've ever opened a bank app and been asked to verify yourself a second time, this is about you. That extra step feels like the system doubting you. It isn't. And I'll be honest, when I first read those numbers, they stopped me cold, because they mean the old idea of proving who you are has quietly stopped working. Today I want to show you what actually happens in those few seconds after you tap Continue. So why isn't a real ID enough anymore? For most of our lives, identity was one moment. A border agent glanced at your passport, a teller looked at your license, looked at your face, and handed your money over. One look, one answer. Done. According to the FinTech Times, that model is being replaced by something called identity intelligence. In plain English, the system stops asking, "Is this document real?" and starts asking, "Does this whole situation make sense?" Picture that security guard again. The old guard checks your ID once at the door. The new guard remembers you. He notices you showed up at 3 in the morning instead of 9. He notices you're not alone. He notices you're walking toward a room you've never entered. One check says the ID is real. Watching says the whole visit adds up. Or it doesn't. So what is the system actually watching? Identity researchers group the signals into 3 buckets. First, how you logged in. Second, how you behave, your typing rhythm, how you hold your phone, how fast you move through a form. Third, context, the device, the network, where the request is coming from. At a large bank, that's hundreds of millions of these little events every single day, evaluated in milliseconds. For a fraud investigator, that's a signal pipeline. For you, it means the bank isn't judging your character. It's noticing that a phone it's never seen before just tried to move your money at an hour you're normally asleep. Now, why do so many of us still believe a matching face and a valid ID means we're safe? Because that's what we were taught for decades, in person, by real humans at real counters. That instinct isn't stupid, it's just outdated. Fraud rings today don't forge documents. They assemble them. Real numbers, fake lives, automated scripts that sail straight through the front gate. And then there's the face itself. Entrust looked at more than 1 billion identity checks across 195 countries. They found deepfakes now drive 1 in 5 attempts to fool a biometric system. Take a breath on that one, because the next number is the important one. When a company uses only a single liveness check, one quick blink at the camera test, about 1 in 7 deepfake attempts got through. When companies layered multiple checks together, the success rate for fakes dropped below 1/3%. That gap is the whole lesson. The extra step that annoys you is the difference between roughly 14% of fakes slipping through and almost none. When a service asks you to verify again, it isn't treating you like a suspect. It's treating the situation as unusual. Which means it noticed. Which means it's working. A real ID number no longer proves a real person. So systems stopped checking one moment and started watching the whole picture. Your device, your habits, your timing. And layering those checks together is what turns a 14% failure rate into almost zero. So the next time your phone asks you to prove yourself twice, that friction isn't distrust. It's the only thing standing between your account and someone wearing a face that was never real. The written version goes deeper. Links below.
Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.